So we did like two videos yesterday. Um, we just talking about rap and how everybody influence, the influence it had on everybody individual. We only got the '80s version. We got the '90s, the person with the from born in the '90s version. No, I need to get my nephews so we could get their version of the 2000s of how they feel about rap. Because they're both going to have probably two different perspectives on it. But we brought up something that, not me, but a topic that we all know about this, especially if you was born in the 80s and of course in the 90s. Cartoons. I want to talk about cartoons because this is like your everything you seen in your childhood growing up. As far as like cartoons was always tainted in a way. And I'm gonna say that because when you grown and you become a grown person, your mind develops, and some people's mind develops, and they could catch certain things that they didn't catch when they was young kids. Because when you a young kid, you think the silliest things is funny. Because the cartoons I grew up on was early '90s cartoons: Woody Woodpecker, Dennis the Menace, Bobby's World, Pinky and the Brain, Animaniacs, Power Rangers. That wasn't a cartoon back. Power Rangers, Looney Tunes. I wasn't too much of a Disney person, but the old Mickey Mouse. Yeah, the old Mickey Mouse cartoons. And then as you got a little older, South Park. I remember like now when I watch, and I don't think all this is too much for kids now, but that Rick and Morty show, that's the crazy shit. What is it? Aqua Teen, Family Guy, Simpsons. Of course, the Simpsons. They've been running strong for damn near 40 something years. Seemed like it. I probably missed some that was real. Like my brother was they used to call my oldest brother Charlie Brown because he had like a Charlie Brown head. I never really got into Charlie Brown like that. It was too slow. But I'm trying to think of more cartoons. X-Men, of course. I'm gonna pull up a list. I would just look up '90s cartoons. There will be a lot of them on there that I used to watch. Something that I forgot, like I'm not an '80s nigga, but I'm gonna look up the '80s cartoons and see who they was. They got a picture. I can't even see this. You know, they got Transformer. They did used to have that pony show. My daughter used to watch that My Little Pony show. They did have a My Little Pony, and they had of course Ninja Turtles. It's a picture of the '80s. I can't really see it. I'm gonna zoom in. Alright, the '90s cartoons. Yeah, that little show with the Digimon, I think that's what it was called. Sonic. Sonic had Steve Urkel voice. Daffy Duck. X-Men. Yu-Gi-Oh! I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a 2000 cartoon. Rugrats, of course. Dexter's. See, we ain't had cable, so we weren't watching too much of that, but I did used to catch that. They got Animaniacs. Tick. Remember the Tick? Freakazoid. Johnny Bravo. Remember, I know y'all remember Johnny Bravo. The Mask. Yeah, The Mask did have a cartoon. Pokemon, of course. Pinky and the Brain. Their pictures on here. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all the picture. Spider-Man, of course. Earth. Is that Earthworm Jim? He had a video game. That looked like Earthworm Jim. Tiny Toons, the little kid version of Bugs Bunny and them. This not really a list though, so let me scroll. Of course, Batman. You know what I'm saying? Batman was the best. You know what I'm saying? Batman was the best. Scooby Doo. You know what I'm saying? Recess, I think. Beavis and Butthead. I was about to forget about Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead. They said SpongeBob is a 90s cartoon. I never seen SpongeBob before. Late in the early 2000s. Captain Planet. Y'all remember Captain Planet? And peep what that was. On Captain Planet, they had the two white people, but I guess one of the girls was from another. That blonde haired chick, I think she was from Australia or some shit, and the little red haired white boy was from America. Cause you know they were supposed to have got them from like different coasts or whatever, different parts of the world to come together. Of course, the black guy was an African. And the Chinese girl, and then the Hindu boy, and they come together and form Captain Planet with their rings or whatever. Dragon Ball Z. I'm just naming them right now. I'm gonna go into some of them individually and how the impact affected me, because I remember DuckTales. Chip and Dale, Powerpuff Girls. I was a little older then when that Powerpuff Girls and all that, so I didn't really watch that. It's a lot of the Nickelodeon cartoons I never really watched. Of course, the Tasmanian Devil. Cause if it wasn't on, you know what I'm saying, you remember the Saturday, like when you used to wake up on Saturday morning on regular TV. You ain't going outside until you see your favorite show. I mean, now these kids don't go out at all. They don't even have cartoons on. I don't have regular TV. I haven't had regular TV like in years, so I don't even know what's on like CW and Fox and all that. I don't even think they even play cartoons anymore. I don't know. But when you used to wake up and then your favorite cartoon be on and your friends come to the door and they be like, come on, let's go play outside. You be like, alright. Matter of fact, just sit in here. We're going to sit in here and watch it, and then when it go off, then we're going to go play. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that shit used to stay on till like almost 12 and noon. And then after that, it's all outside. You outside. You ain't worried about programming in the TV. These kids now, they got phones. They can instantly watch whatever they want to watch, and they can instantly do it, and they don't want to go outside. I said I was going to be talking about cartoons, but I guess now I'm going to be all over the place, but I'm going to try to focus on one subject, but I might not be able to, because it's just a reminiscent of what I remember. My grandma, we used to be outside so much. My grandma used to come looking for us. Well, mostly my cousin. She didn't give a fuck where I was at. No disrespect to my grandma. I'm not trying to disrespect my grandma, but I was a little older, so it didn't really like I could handle myself. I was a little older, but he was like living with her, and she was up his ass. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't do no wrong in her eyes. But like, we be watching cartoons, and then we outside all day. And my group of friends, when I was before my teenage years, they was all different races. Two little white brothers. Shout out to y'all, Mike, Brian. My man Steven. He was a Filipino. Cool ass motherfucker. He had all the new shit. You know what I'm saying? We used to be pressed to see if he woke when we woke, so we could go play that Nintendo 64. He was the first motherfucker with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, sometimes he'd come to the house and get us if nobody else came to his house, but we'd be over there playing it. You know what I'm saying? So, the cartoon game was like, that was the beginning. That wasn't the beginning of your mind control, because your parents mind controlled you more and on a regular basis, telling you what to do and how you supposed to present yourself and doing all that. That's molding you, and they was molding you. You don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this. For some it's a good thing, for some it's a bad thing, because a lot of people go to church and they don't even know why, because their parents forced them. They forced them. They basically said, you ain't gonna be no heathen in my house, your ass going to church. And I never had that childhood, so that church shit didn't really affect me. If I went to church in my life, it was because I wanted to go. And I don't think I ever. The only time I went to a church service was a funeral and on New Year's, and I only went because my girlfriend went. And it was New Year's, and I was like 15, 16. And I just went for her. And I got that mind control feeling from that too. Like the preacher, whatever he was saying was making it seem like he just talking to me. That's that mind control talk. That's that cadence. They hit you with the cadence, and then all the people in there be like, oh, it just sound like he talking to me, because they know how to talk. Shit, they train for that shit. But that's the only time I went to church. Never went no other time. I don't think I would have been getting a lot of ass whoopings if my grandma was taking me into church. See, my grandma wasn't a church person either. My mom definitely wasn't, but my grandma wasn't. And none of my close relatives really was church people. They was them Easter Sunday niggas. Oh, you gotta go on Easter Sunday. If anything, dress up. That was them. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I always ain't going to no fucking church. But the first form of your mind control was done by your parents. Your parents screwed you up. They molded you. And then the cartoons was like, when you watch it, like what I could remember, it was basically putting certain ideas in your head. And it's a lot of subliminal message in cartoons. But it's real, like when you watch it when you grown, you see the shit and you be like, damn. It could be something you even remember watching, because it's a lot of cartoons that, like, we used to have them on tape. And I sit there and be watching a cartoon. And then I go back when I'm older and watch it, and I be like, what the fuck? Like, they said that? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Especially when I brought up that Daffy Duck thing. He was the black duck. He was the unlucky duck. His whole cartoons was him failing and always wanting to get money. Who that sound like? That sound like a nigga. He was just always trying to get it though. And I told y'all the white and gray rabbit always, he get hunted down by the human. I think Yosemite Sam used to be in some of Bugs Bunny cartoons, cause I know it was Elmer Fudd for sure. And you know they showed that little homosexual acts in the cartoon. And I should have did this with somebody else, cause I want their opinion. So right now I'm just talking. You know, I label my videos talking my ish. This cartoon right here, Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember when that first came out. They say it's a 90s cartoon too, but it must have came out the late 90s with the Egyptians. They used to play with the cards and shit, and they was Egyptians. Whatever they was playing, that shit did not used to make sense to me. I don't know. This nigga was the lawyer's kid, then all of a sudden he turned to a blonde head pharaoh, a grown ass man that looked just like him, I guess, but just older. But you see, they dealt with monsters. Because towards a certain part of the year, the monsters start becoming popular. Like the movies of monsters coming out, and then everybody wants you to be like the monsters was a actual friend of yours, not something you should be scared of. Hold up. Yeah, that video we did last night, it was four people on the video, and I listened to it. You can hear everybody clearly. I'm just asking anybody. I'm gonna ask them if it's okay for me to put it on. Just want to throw shit up, cause you know, I don't want to be like, "What you? Is that a cat?" Oh man, y'all just missed it. I remember I was telling y'all about that white cat. That motherfucker just came right in front of my face. You be so scared though. All white cat, like nothing but like, I couldn't even see shit because it's a white. It was blending in. But yeah, I want to get the approval of everybody and see if it's okay to put it up, and then I'm gonna put it up. I mean, it's just everybody's perspective from what they think. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was talking about the cartoons. I'm gonna go in because we went in on the Pinky and the Brain, and you know the person who was talking said, I guess she worked with kids, and she said she didn't look at it the way that this kid looked at it, and these kids are like behavioral kids or whatever, like they always in trouble. So she said that if y'all ain't hear, because it was loud when she said it, that did you ever watch Pinky and the Brain? And she said, yeah. And she said, well, who was the same one to you? And she said, the Brain. And he said, no. It was Pinky. Because what's the textbook definition of insanity? Doing the same thing every day, expecting a new result. And then then I played the actual theme song, and you hear the Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. So they basically telling you right there that Pinky was the one. See, I gotta go back and watch him again, but I know every time, like they had the show, it seemed like they was trying to make you seem like insanity was being chaos, and that's what Pinky was. He was chaos. He would just do shit, and he always like seemed like he had saved him, or he had fooled you the plan of the Brain, and then they make it seem like, well, first of all, he's insane if he hanging around with Pinky, and Pinky's insane. He's supposed to be the Brain. He's supposed to be the smart one. But it just show you the contradiction on that shit. He's super smart. He could figure out. He's supposed to be technically a genius or whatever, but he wasn't a genius. He was a fucking moron. To try to keep taking over the fucking word every day. You know what I'm saying? And the other one that just did chaotic shit. He just did chaotic shit. He was doing his thing. He was living his life. But the Brain was basically a mental patient for real. He had the IQ of knowing how to do shit, but he was trying to do the dumbest shit in the world, trying to conquer it. And like, I remember when I was young, when I used to come on, we had a cartoon lineup. This was the best cartoon lineup. After school, I think it was about 94, 95. I can't really remember. It's when Power Rangers first came out. Cause that shit hit the world by storm. And you know they stole that shit from overseas somewhere. I can't remember. They got the overseas version of the Power Rangers, and I'm like, oh shit, what is this? And all that shit I think on Netflix. But you see, they stole that shit. And they got a little racist with it. You black, so you the Black Ranger. You know what I'm saying? They make the black guy the Black Ranger. He always dancing and shit. Shit was hilarious though. But then we had like Bobby's World. He would always imagine shit. We had Woody Woodpecker, Dennis the Menace. He always terrified that little blind, blue-eyed motherfucker. Always terrified his fucking neighbor. Fucking with that old ass man all the time. What the fuck was his parents, man? They show him, but come get your badass son. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all like this nigga just be talking too much bullshit. He'll be spitting no science. I mean, I gotta let the channel build a little bit. I just started this shit. I ain't even getting in no books yet. No nothing. I'm starting probably at the end of this week. We gonna get into some of these comic books and these books. I'm gonna have enough time on my hands to do that. And I'm gonna try to knock them motherfuckers out almost every day. Going in on stuff. So I want to sound like I just be on this motherfucker just saying what I gotta say and getting off. But I mean, I told y'all, like, the signs that I'm gonna spit, it's gonna be related to my topic. I don't need to tell y'all everything else, because it's already people on there fucking YouTube already doing that shit. I'm just here for people that didn't ever hear the mental health aspect of it to see it in a different way instead of the way they probably see it. Like a motherfucker just go crazy. Oh, something must be wrong with him. He did that. Something must be wrong. Like, I'm trying to give y'all a different point of view from it. So, that's just what I'm here to do. And when I'm done, I'm done. I'm not gonna stay on this motherfucker forever doing this shit. I'm not trying to. I mean, I know I got some people listening that never heard nothing about half the shit I be talking about, and they probably like, yeah, we could tell this nigga mental. And I gotta believe my family, you know, I don't know. Some of them probably, some of them, if they knew what was going on with me when I was going through my episodes and shit. Everything, I don't know if they looked at me, everything I said was nuts. Because they not going to try to verify anything I said to them. They not going to try to look up nothing. They just going to be like, I ain't never heard that before, boy, you crazy. They going to do that shit. But it's about checking it, you know what I'm saying, verifying some of the stuff I'm saying, and it's not just going on YouTube or Wikipedia to see, like, oh, you said something somebody else said, so it must be right. Nah, it's about you going to you searching this shit up on different things, books, everything, just to see the certain point of views. They got this story talking about Jim Carrey died. Don't be wishing death. I don't give a fuck if you're a white man. Don't kill motherfuckers on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They be putting motherfucker shit out. Motherfuckers still be alive, and then, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit. Even though I ain't like his comments about Will Smith, but that don't mean I want the nigga to die. You know what I'm saying? Jim Carrey was funny as shit on Living Color. That. Yo, the Living Color was the shit. I know y'all remember Living Color. Homie, don't play that. Did you know it was a real killer named Homie the Clown? Like, I just, because I was watching, I seen some shit and I thought it was some bullshit. It said it was a real fucking killer clown and his name was Homie the Clown. And I was like, so what? And he based that, I guess, character, Damon Wayans based that character, or they based that on his character Homie the Clown. Homie don't play that. And this motherfucker, whoever this killer was, this Homie the Clown nigga was going around murking niggas. You know what I'm saying? He was Homie that didn't play that, I guess. Yeah, but that shit, when I seen that shit, I was like, what? Just such thing as Homie the Clown? This motherfucker was a fucking serial killer. I'm not saying it's funny that he was a serial. I'm just saying, like, they really used the name of a serial killer ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? I just got lost when I brought that shit up because I had to do something real quick. Because the next topic we might talk about, because my homeboy, well, still fuck his bitch ass, but y'all heard him on the video. He said he don't watch movies, so he wasn't affected by them because he don't watch none of that shit. But I'm telling you, like, you had to watch something to influence you to act the way you be acting in life. Something did it. Cause we all got something. We all got either some trauma or we seen some shit on the movie, and I told you that shit is entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you couldn't tell me scary movies wasn't real to me. I mean, when I dig deep inside some of this science and shit to see where they got some of these scary characters and all this shit from. Some of these characters, this shit was from mythology, so this shit was told by our ancestors back in the day. I did the urban myth video and the urban legend video, and you see most of these stories of where they get most of that shit from was from these stories or something that really happened. So even a superhero, not just the urban myths, even the superhero stories was all influenced by a myth or something. We say myth, but we had powers. I don't want to call it powers, but we had abilities. The ancient gods, they say. Like they do the story, they talk about the Anunnaki and the Nephilim and all that. There's already people talking about that know way more than me about it. I get into that shit, but I really don't. There's already people talking about it. There's no point to fucking... I know I'll just break down my opinion. I could break down my opinion on it, because a lot of that stuff, I started off looking at a lot of that stuff because most people read that stuff and look at it literally. Like, this how it was because they said it on the walls or whatever. But some people look at it as symbols. It was symbolic for this to be this. It's symbolic. It meant something. It meant something else. You just looking at the, like I told you when I was listening to all the white people, scholars, they looked at a lot of that Egyptian shit as literal shit when it and some of them probably even knew that it was symbology, but they's like, nah, the aliens was here, blah blah blah. The aliens built this. The aliens show them pictures. Won't y'all show them pictures of ancient America? They're not gonna show that shit. They just blew them motherfuckers up. That's why I don't care about shouting nobody out. I don't want no clout. The Duke of Tiz, you know what I'm saying? Go listen to his lectures. Go listen to it's a whole lot of other people with lectures. Dr. Lim El Bay, you know what I'm saying? Panic. Listen to that shit. And they talk and they show. But this shit was popping. This shit wasn't no bullshit over here. Because you think about it. If you go back to the world when they said it was Pangea, all life spread it through all the continents. But then it broke off. But, you know who your boy, who Holiday they took away. And that was kind of weird. Because I seen a video of them showing Columbus as a darker skinned person. Columbus wasn't even his name. But even if you go with the original story, when he was supposed to go to India, but there was no such place called India at the time. So how they gonna use a country and then say he was going there, but it wasn't that name? So when he gets to here or down in the south part of wherever he landed on the west coast, on the west side of the world, he say them people Indians, a term that probably wasn't even used because there wasn't no such thing yet. See the mind playing the mind fuck. That's why I name drop them people, because their information is powerful. You know what I'm saying? I listened to, when I first heard the Ducates, I did say that nigga, what this nigga talk about? We was already here, all this. What the fuck is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because you so used to, nobody don't really want to challenge their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, like, you hear something and you be like, nah, this can't be it. So you won't go further when you first hear it. You won't go further and study it for yourself. You'll just write the person off and say, man, that shit ain't true what he's saying. That shit sound far-fetched. But go do the research on it. Be like, hold up, I heard this nigga said this. I heard this nigga, somebody say this. You be like, I heard somebody say this. And it'd be the person you call crazy or whatever. Because everybody else is saying one other thing. Because if you move with the masses, like, and you just go about your everyday life, like, it's people that just don't give a fuck. They just go their everyday life and just live on social media all day. I'm not talking about like people that's going to learn and shit like that. I'm talking about they just post pictures all day of it. Like, all day. And they feel satisfied. Oh, how many likes I got. That shit'll drive an ego insane, especially an ego untamed. And I'm a nigga that understand what the fuck ego is. And I could imagine what it's doing for regular folk that don't even know what the ego is, or don't even care to find out. They see all the attention they get. Their ass be lit. Do you know who I am? You know how many followers I got? You know how many people like my videos? And I ain't trying to bash the women that be getting the likes, but if you take a photo, no disrespect. I told you I always say no disrespect, but I end up saying some disrespectful shit. But for real, if you take a photo, and every single photo, you in a pose showing your ass, what else can you offer to somebody? Seriously. Every single photo, you gotta show your butt. What the fuck is that? And I ain't trying to diss the women with nice curves and shit, but damn. But then when a nigga slide in your DMs because you taking pictures in your drawers and your thongs and shit, slide in your DMs and say some disrespectful ass shit to you, you feel it's like he shouldn't be able to say that. Well, your ass shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't be showing your motherfucking ass on social media. That's crazy. Like I told you, I'm gonna link almost everything back to mental health. Just because you see other motherfuckers doing it, and then you do it, and then somebody slide in like, damn, look at that ass or some shit, all on your comments, and your family can see it and all that shit, and you think they disrespected you. You disrespected yourself doing that shit. I knew I said this was gonna be about cartoons, but I told y'all I'm just talking, you know what I'm saying? I might slide back into the cartoon subject. But yeah, like, because I see that a lot. And you could just, man, if I wanted all these views and all this popularity, I got over 500 people on my Facebook. I put my videos up on Facebook. And almost all the motherfuckers that's on my Facebook, they will fucking subscribe to my shit and watch my videos. But I don't want that attention. You know what I'm saying? I can though. I could get that attention if I want it. But I don't want that shit. Hold up. Hold up real quick. Yeah, my bad. Being nosy real quick. I'm just, I gotta watch the street. You know what I'm saying? But if I was in this for all that, I'm gonna try to put some of these videos on Instagram. I do not know how to do that shit at all. Damn. I end up fucking cut my video off almost. But I do not know how to do that shit. I don't even really got no followers on the gram because I just started that shit not too long ago. But yeah, it's like monkey see, monkey do. Especially with now, it's like these kids, I ain't saying they forced to be in Instagram and shit like that, but it's like they see, monkey do. There's no original thoughts from them. Not a lot of them. A lot of them just follow suit. Show me the teenager without a phone. Show me a teenager without a TikTok. Hold up real quick. Yeah, I think show me the teenager that don't live on social media. And that teenager, he's gonna get looked at as he's the odd one out the bunch. And he could be doing some real good shit, just not even focused on what other people think of him. Cause it's like a diss to these kids now. It's like one of the worst disses growing up was when somebody talk about your mama or some shit. That's like, you could say anything about these motherfuckers, and then they act like you said something about my mama. Menace to society. What you say about my mama? Like, they willing to go the lengths on your ass. And like they don't, outside to them, maybe, I don't know if they really think this, but maybe outside to them is dangerous because they saying all this shit. But they don't really want to be outside. And if they want to be outside, they want to do some reckless ass shit. I told you, like, I was kind of like, when I turned into a teenager, I stay in the house. My mom had to, like, she told me, like, take your ass outside, boy. And that's when I turned to teenager, because all you do is just draw. Sit in the house and draw and shit. So I guess she got concerned. She was like, you don't got no friends? I said, yeah, I got friends. Why you don't go play with them after school? I was like, I got homework. Do my homework. Why you just gonna go to sleep? Or why can't you just go out with your friends and have fun? It's like I needed her permission for some reason. I don't know. That's just how I felt. Like, I didn't want to be a headache on her. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want her to worry about me because she was already going through shit. My older brother. I just decided to stay in the house and keep out of sight. And she was like, nah, you act like you can't handle why your friends don't come here. She said that to me. Why your friends don't come over? And I had friends, but I just thought I would never invite them in the house because I thought she'd get mad at some shit. I don't know if this is an insult or a compliment. When people used to come in our house, that was our friends, they used to say this. So if y'all heard this before, let me know. They used to come in our house and be like, I didn't expect your house to look like this. And I'm like, what, you joning, nigga? Nah. It's so clean. And I'm like, what the fuck you trying to say? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck do you mean by that? I just thought your house would look different. Well, maybe because I'm not that rich or whatever. And I guess they was looking at my clothes and suspecting my house to leak dirty or some shit. You're like, nah, your house. And I heard this from multiple fucking people. I told you I wasn't the richest kid growing up. We ain't had shit till tax time. You know what I'm saying? You know how that work. But they used to say that. Like, all the ones we used to invite in the house, that was like, damn, I didn't expect your house to look like this. And it got to the point where I'm like, why the fuck all y'all keep saying this shit? Fuck you mean? You ain't expected to look so clean. Like, y'all dry joning on the side, but then they be like, no, it ain't a bad thing, it ain't a bad thing. Like, man, that's an insult or something. I understand y'all saying, alright, my house is clean, but y'all expect it to look different from the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. If y'all ever heard that shit before, chime in, for real. That was like they was coming at me or something. And it never failed. But yeah, like, I started to bring friends. I told you I started to bring friends over. I was like, I'm gonna abuse this shit. You know what I'm saying? You the one said it. I ain't say it, so you can't tell me I can't have no friends over. You the one said where my friends at. So I was like, alright, y'all come over my house, shit. And that's what we did. But it's like, she wanted me to get my ass out the house. You know what I'm saying? I understand where she was coming from, because, like, these teenagers growing up around this motherfucker, these niggas, you won't see them outside. Like, you rarely see teenagers outside. Like, even my daughter, she ain't even a teenager, but she do not come outside and play or none of that. I'll be like, get off the fucking phone and go outside and go. Like, when I was 10, man, we was doing everything outside. Nigga, we outside all day. That street light shit wasn't a fucking. Remember, they say people mothers used to be like, when the street lights come in the house, shit. That was the funnest time when the street lights came out, because it's getting dark. We about to play. If y'all ever heard of Manhunt, we about to play Manhunt, and we play with the whole neighborhood. And you gotta walk through the whole neighborhood looking for niggas. And it'd be like 15 of us. It's just one nigga we used to get, and he used to want to be it, cause this nigga's stamina was fucking like, you ain't running from this nigga, dog. This nigga was like the black version of fucking Jason and Michael Myers and shit. He's gonna catch you, cause you're gonna get tired. He won't even run. He been running so much, he'll run slow chasing you, but he'll still be running to make you run, and then you just give up cause you tired as fuck. And he'll chase everybody down. We hate it when this nigga played. Shout out to Duro and shit. We hate it when that nigga played. He chased everybody down. Niggas be mad as shit. Niggas be quitting the game an hour into the shit. When niggas don't even be playing no more, this nigga still be fucking hunting niggas down. I'm like, man, we in the house. We about to go in the house. It's like, well, I caught y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you ran around the whole neighborhood catching motherfuckers. So it was like tag, but it was like, it's it's the whole. It's not just that one area you playing that tag in. It ain't hide go seek. It's kind of like that, but it was like you just hide. You hide wherever the fuck. Like we had limits. Like just one side of the neighborhood. You couldn't go on the other side. But you stay in that whole neighborhood right there. That whole area. Like it was two sides to the neighborhood, but we stay in that one whole side of the neighborhood, and they just go out and just hunt you down, tag you and shit, and then you gotta be with them. And if somebody see you with the person that they knew was it, they knew you got caught, nigga. You better run from their ass. So niggas would try to like split up and shit, and then tag a nigga. You know what I'm saying? But once you get tagged, you gotta hunt down the rest of the niggas that's not tagged. So it ain't like it was one person. It's whoever get tagged, everybody turn into that nigga that's it. So that's what we was doing outside when it got dark. You know what I'm saying? And I had no cell phone and none of that when I was a teenager, but nobody could find me. I told my aunts where I was at, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I don't even know if I'm coming home tonight. I'm gonna sleep over so-and-so house. And they be like, okay. Cause sometimes I fuck around real late, about 2, 3 in the morning, go knock on the door, ain't nobody answering. So I just go back to my homeboy house. You know what I'm saying? Sleep over there. Or try to call them or whatever from a phone. If they ain't answer the door or answer the phone, I'm going back where I was at. I made sure I wasn't in a position where I was locked out anywhere. But yeah, we was social beings. We was still social beings, because these kids, they social beings, but they technical social beings. Like all that social is on technology. These motherfuckers be sitting right next to each other, texting each other and shit. So what the fuck? Look at this picture I just posted. Instead of showing the motherfucker, you gotta send it to him and shit. Like these motherfuckers, they ready for that Ready Player One shit. That shit is coming. I don't know what city that. I gotta see what city that was supposed to be in, but whatever city that was, it looked fucked. Everybody was working for the bag eating. They had all the adults, everybody, not just kids. They had the adults, everybody in the house on that little virtual reality Oculus shit, and they got that shit ready. Like, if y'all ever tried that sound speaker and shit that you put around your body, I tried that shit. That shit is insane. Like, you put the vest on, and they got the gamer one, but that shit is expensive. But the one for the phone, like the music and shit, you put the shit on, and it's like, I can't really say it's vibration. More like speakers everywhere on you, and then you put the plug it up, I think, to the headphones, and then you listen, but you feel that shit like through your body. It's hard to explain. You gotta try that shit. You feel the music through your whole fucking body. And that was the small one that I tried. They got the bigger ones, the gamer vest, and you put it on, and I guess if you playing a shooting game or something like that, you get injured, it'll vibrate or it'll do something. You will feel the shit in that area, like you playing Call of Duty, somebody get shot up, you will feel that shit. Like, they got that shit already lined the fuck up. I seen this shit from ads on YouTube and shit. So when I seen the dude bring it one day, I was like, I heard about this. Where you get that from? And he was like, I said, how much you paid? This nigga was like almost $300. And I was like, damn. But that shit, it make you listen to music a whole nother way for real. Cause you feel it's like they trying to give you an experience out of that shit, and it do it you cause you never heard music like that before. I mean, I don't recommend you walking in traffic and shit in the busy streets with that shit on, cause you ain't gonna pay attention to shit around you. You gonna be just feeling that music, you know. But that's the future, and it's coming. It's here. Like I was telling my daughter, like, look, you want to draw, you a drawer. You know how to draw. You just like how I used to draw. And it's funny how she became like an artist or whatever, because I never even told her I used to be a good artist. She don't even know. She don't know at all. She have no idea. I had to tell her that shit. Did you know I used to draw like that too? It's just in the DNA. I just used to see her like I take her to go get stuff from stores and shit. I'm like, what you want? She'd just say, I want this notepad, this drawing pad, I want some color pencils, I want this, I want that. And I'm like, you like to draw? I mean, it's not that common for a kid liking to draw, but the way she like it, she on that shit. She's falling down that path I followed down. I just hope she take her opportunities. I dare. I mean, I'm inspired to go back and do that shit though. I haven't drew in so long. But I see they sell these blank canvas comic books. And I think that'd be a good gift, or be a good thing to get her, so she can make her own comic book. And I display that shit on here. You know what I'm saying? That'd be nice. Cause I mean, when she like to draw, she get her book out and she about to draw. My youngest daughter, she be wanting to draw too, and she like to draw. I mean, I told you, when she write, you know, she's still 3, so. But she'd draw her ass off. And then we like, look, you know, yo, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Always congratulate them on when they draw something. I put that shit on the fucking refrigerator. Cause I mean, I kinda had support from shit I drew from when my mom used to see it. I ain't saying she ain't back me on that shit, cause she did. But I never told her about the colleges and shit that I was getting the notes from. She did not know. I mean, if she seen the mail and gave it to me, she did not know what the letter or anything said. So it's like my mind growing up, I was balanced. I wasn't a logical thinker. It's like I was a chaotic thinker, but I was trying to make sense of the chaotic thinking, trying to put logic in it, because I know I didn't think like other kids or other teenagers or other people. That's what I was doing. It's like I was fucking myself up doing that instead of staying in that artistic mode. Because since I could remember, I was a drawer. That's all I used to do. And I'm a lefty. So I don't know if that mean anything, but to me, that was a big deal. And I used to be a drawing ass motherfucker. My dad could draw too. I mean, I really didn't see him, but my brother went to go stay with him for like a couple of weeks. He drew an actual picture of my brother, and I was like, damn, like I wasn't that good. That nigga, like, you know how the motherfuckers be drawing niggas in court? But he drew that shit, but that shit Cause you know the court joints be looking like it's still a little cartoonish looking. This nigga drew my brother, and that shit looked like a portrait. Like that, and I was like, damn. And that's what they always used to say. That's where you got it from. But my mom could draw too, but she never really tried. But she was working at a daycare when I was younger, and she brought home a picture. And then I was like, what? Where you get this picture from this book? She said, I drew that. It was a penguin and shit with a winter coat on. I said, you drew this? She was like, yeah, I could draw too, boy. And I was like, you lying. She said no, because she dealt with little kids and she drew it for them to color it. And I was like, damn, I never even like knew you could draw. And I told you about my uncle. That nigga, his portraits used to be like legendary. You know what I'm saying? This nigga, I don't know why he gave that shit up. This nigga was talented as shit. When the schizophrenia hit him, it really affected him in that way where he just gave up all his artwork and all that, and I don't know what it was, but I think that has something to do with it. Like, most of my family's talented. Like, what I would talk about? I don't even know. This video ain't going up. I say that about every video though, and I end up putting them up a little later. But this one might not, because I really wasn't on no topic or nothing. Oh yeah, I was talking about the kids and the metaverse that's about to come. I mean, they gonna be ready for it. People better get ready. See, people be trying, oh, it's gonna be like Terminator. It's gonna be like The Matrix. The machine's gonna take over. Did you hear that story about that fucking robot? They said they deactivated this fucking robot because they started talking coded language. They ain't need to deactivate that shit. They turned that shit on, and it was a video. They might have took that shit down. It was a video of two robots, and the nigga, I guess he asked him a question. The fucking robot said, "We gonna talk like this," and made up a language, and said, "The humans are listening." And because what the shit he said before that was scary as fuck to and the audience heard this shit. So of course they gonna be like, what the fuck what the fuck is this shit y'all made? And the joint said, what is the meaning of humans and all this? We don't need no fucking humans. The fucking robot said some shit like that. Humanity, and then motherfucker basically said he was aware of himself. And they started talking the coded language. He unplugged them because everybody in the crowd was shocked. The fuck is they talking? This some Terminator shit for real. They so-called deactivated them, but I don't think they did that shit. Nigga, they AI, them motherfuckers learn on their own. And if they tell you when something off and ain't really off, then you deactivate them and turn them off. That nigga's still learning somehow. Especially processing information, and like, because you see, like, the world that was trying to make that shit seem like robots would be helpers to us, and they funded all this shit to make these robots to be like, I guess and they look real. They just had they didn't have a whole skull or whatever. I mean, a whole cover or whatever of that body, but that facial structure. Like, you couldn't really tell that it was fake. Like niggas, and I heard they make, and then you see, if y'all ever seen them little sex robots, them motherfuckers look real too. Like motherfuckers just gonna be fucking with robots and shit. Them like, fuck that. I ain't trying to have no kids. I'm about to go buy me the T8000 and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers gonna be fucking with robots because we at that stage now where I won't be surprised. Like everybody, we talked about the aliens yesterday. That somehow the AI and all that shit gonna get thrown in the middle of this shit. Cause say aliens do come, and we got these highly advanced robots, and they learn the technology, or they come in contact with the aliens, they will process the information. Cause to a niggas don't even listen to niggas, so they won't listen to no fucking aliens. You know what I'm saying? They won't process that shit. They won't even know how to process that shit. But these fucking robots will pick that shit up in like 30 seconds and have the if it was a real alien, and have the capabilities of outer space flight and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They will be unstoppable. And I know y'all be seeing the motherfucking robots they be using and shit. They got fucking robots running around. I heard they got robots down south now patrolling shit. I heard motherfuckers talking about it. They got police robots or some shit. Like they cameras and shit. And they go around following motherfuckers. Them prototypes. They got the real you probably sit next to a motherfucker or walk past a motherfucker that's a robot. You won't even know. I mean, the way niggas act anyway, some of these niggas act like robots. They be zooted the fuck up and they be acting like robots. Cause half these motherfuckers ain't nothing but organic robots. You know what I'm saying? You a human robot. Hey, I went in the house a couple of times. Tonight, I'm sitting outside and shit. My nephew this nigga hand haven't left that phone. Even when he eating, his hand do not leave that phone. I'm like, nigga, I should have mine on right now, but I'm like, nigga, you better get some blue blockers. And I bought this nigga some, and I wasn't the only one. He had several pairs of them. He just lost them or broke them. Like, nigga, you on that motherfucking phone 20. Like, I listen to my phone on a regular basis too, but I'm not saying what I do on my phone is better, but I'm saying if you ain't learning nothing, you rotting yourself. If you just on there just to see funny shit so you can retweet and resend to other motherfuckers, what are you doing? Use your smartphone for some smart shit. Don't use your smartphone for dumb shit. That's the whole purpose of it. The phone's smarter than niggas. That's what it is. The fucking phone is smarter than niggas. And I don't mean niggas, just niggas. I mean everybody when I say nigga. You know, we call everybody nigga. White people niggas. Chinese niggas, we don't discriminate. All y'all niggas. And when I say all y'all niggas, I mean everybody. I ain't meaning just niggas. But I'm just saying, like, y'all niggas be, y'all have the access to so much knowledge, and it's not even with the phone. It's not even that much studying you need to do. And it's like, I know people like, we need to wake the people. I don't believe everybody's going to wake up or need to wake up. Just a small amount. we'd be in this motherfucker forever if every motherfucking nigga need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? We'd be waiting for another 30,000 years for everybody to get hip to what's going on around them. Because motherfuckers don't care. They do not care. They would niggas are sign up. If motherfuckers come out and tell them you gotta do this to do this, you gotta do that to do that, and we're saving you by doing this, motherfuckers be lined up. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't even need to say no cold words or nothing. And I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about anything. Because the news generation and all that news shit, and that Trump fucked all that fake news shit. When Trump started saying fake news, he got a lot of motherfuckers understanding that some of the shit they say is bullshit. And people started picking up on that shit. He was dangerous to them. Because he was exposing too much of these lies that they telling us. And I'm just going to say I'm a supporter, but I mean, who in there now? You know what I'm saying? I told y'all in another video, like, y'all ain't have to suffer through that when he was in there. I'm not trying. I ain't trying to let. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a representation of none of him, none of that shit, nobody. But I'm just saying, like, come on, man. I seen Boyce Watkins post a thing that they talking about another explosion in inflation. I mean, shit. The inflation that we got already is fucked up. Another one? That's gonna... no farmlands. No food's getting to the stores. Niggas is gonna be out here wilding. You know how many niggas I ran into this week alone? Not even niggas. I mean, they was all. It was. I mean, I see the daily basis of niggas, but these people, like, even like it was even a Mexican. It was a couple of Mexican guys talking about they just lost their job. Can they get some money or whatever? I'm like, damn, man, nigga, I don't got no job, but nigga, what the fuck? Like, how I'ma give you money? You know what I'm saying? I gave him $1 and shit. Like, niggas is about to be down bad. And they coming for y'all niggas. They'll turn that back on you. Like, they letting so much motherfuckers in this country. And motherfuckers ain't... The shit get talked about for like a week or maybe 2 days, and then the shit just disappeared, and then you don't see nothing else about the shit. And you got some black people say we need to stay on code, but that's hard to say to a motherfucker that got a starving baby. Cause these motherfuckers if their kids start hurting, they'll hurt another nigga and they won't care. At all. Like, we'd take ourselves out the game and be like, fuck that nigga, I don't know that nigga. Especially as black Americans. Like, think back. I know we had a little rough areas back in the 60s and shit. Like, when they show y'all pictures like when the Great Depression and all that shit with black people, did y'all even see niggas in those pictures? We was here. But I ain't seen no niggas with mean mug faces. That was the Great Depression for them. On Miss Blue got a show. Energy readings. I might put it on the phone and still do my video and put it on the side so I can listen a little bit. But yeah, that shit ain't affect them. That shit, I mean, it didn't affect it. It didn't affect us. You know all the line about history.
Peace and greetings, everyone.
That's a quick one. I'm gonna listen to this later.
And I just want to welcome you on in for this weekly energy reading. I am going to be
Hold up.
the planet.
Damn, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. I was listening to it real quick. I'm gonna go back and listen to it, but yeah, see if it pop back up in my head. I know I was talking about the metaverse. Oh, niggas. Like, I think I was saying something about American niggas. Like, oh yeah, shit in the Depression, yeah. It was a Great Depression that they named. But I ain't seen no niggas in no sad photos. I seen a lot of dirty ass white people. Where was we? You know what I'm saying? If they was down bad back then, what was we doing? And they don't tell you that. Soon as we decided to integrate with them, and that was the only reason I think they let us. The only reason they let us do it, because they knew our buying power was so strong. We still niggas. They say niggas don't got no money like white people, but we got the highest spending power in the world. Well, over here, the highest trillions of dollars of money. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I gotta take another break. Hold up. Yeah. Now think about it. Okay. They say it was so bad because we couldn't go in their restaurants and spend our money and do things like they had the best schools, they had the best education. If they had all that shit, why the fuck was we the millionaires and shit in all these counties and all that shit? Did that make sense? As soon as we get in that system, look at the black community now, cause they rarely, like, they'll tell you about Tulsa now, but they ain't tell you about the other thriving places at all. They didn't tell you about those. So you just thinking we were just ghettos. The first fucking ghettos was where white people used to live. Look it up. We was booming. They needed that money to go in their pockets, not ours. They fabricated all these goddamn stories to y'all niggas, and y'all niggas just ate that shit up. First of all, why would you believe anything they fucking said about how we was living when they won't even show you pictures of how we was after slavery? Nigga, just look up, because they got a list. That says the 100 black inventors. Just look up everything you use every day. Everything you use every day. And slave couldn't own patents, right? So can you imagine how much motherfucking shit we made and we couldn't get credit for it? Or our families, cause you know you get a patent, that shit gonna pass down your generations. That was stealing shit that didn't even make. And then when they started letting us get the patents, trying to say we was working with all these great inventors that made this and made that. Bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Look it up. Just look up the black inventors. Think about every everyday item you use. Start off with the first thing you do when you wake up. What you do? You use the bathroom, right? But we invented the toilet. First of all, I got this book. I gotta get this book back from this nigga. It was showing the irrigation systems of the ancient days, of how that waste in that water didn't mix into that clean water. Just look at that. And you'll be like, who built this? And they show you, like, my daughter was reading a book one day. It's natural. It was like Egyptian. I got the Greek version, Greek and something else, medicine, and the Egyptian medicine book. It's a little book. You could read it in less than an hour. So my daughter looking through the book, looking because they got pictures. So she see they show the Aborigines from Australia in the book. So she reading it, but before she read the page, she see the picture, and she says, "These people from Africa." And I said, "Where they say they from?" Because that's what they telling our kids. I said, no, they ain't from no fucking Africa. What they say? Say Australia. They Aborigines. Just because they black, she think they from Africa. And I can't fault her, because that's what they teaching us. And that's what they taught us. If it was somebody else ask that question, they'd be like, yeah, of course. Nah. Like, I have her be reading. I gave her The Miseducation of a Negro. It's a short book, but it's a lot of words. Like, they pack a lot of words on those pages. It's about 60, 70 pages or whatever. But it's a lot of words on one page. The font it's like a lot of words. Like, she started reading the intro. I'm like, no, you could get into chapter 1. She reading the intro. It's taking her a whole hour just to read the intro. I'm being nosy and shit. So yeah, they play with us, like, and Martin Luther King, he understood where he fucked up at. It was all about getting our dollars. Nigga, they say we own planes, we own bus companies, we own all that shit. Not just in one county. Across this motherfucker. I mean, think about it logically. Your folks, they say we was in slavery, right? And we in slavery. We had all the skills because we did everything. And they ain't have to do nothing. So when they lose their slaves and we separate, kind of separate, who the fuck doing that work? They had to fucking learn themselves. They ain't had nobody. That's why they suffered. We was able to like, shit, we gonna build our shit up. And that's what we did. And they fucked it up over and over and over. That's why it seems like niggas is scared now to do anything, because it's like they still throwing that fear at your ass. Like, nigga, if you do this, you gonna get taken out. And it's gonna be just a mystery or conspiracy. That's how it seems like it's gonna be. I told you I heard a little 17-year-old kid say I went to school for 17 years, and technically, as soon as I got out of school and graduated, I started studying. And I learned more in a day about shit they ain't teach me than everything they taught me in 17 years in school. This nigga was talking, I thought he was a fucking lecturer. Told you he was talking about my nephew. Saying, I'm like, who you listening to? That's what I had to say. Cause I was like, who the fuck is this little nigga? I thought he was watching a video and shit. Little nigga was dropping game. I said, them the friends I want you to hang around. Talking like that. Keep you on your toes. Them little dumb niggas I want to just rap about women and drugs and cars and money and talk about that shit. You in my video.
Peace and greetings, everyone. Hi, it's me, Miss Blue.
But yeah.
I just want to welcome you on in for this week.
That information was that information I mean, the one secret they do have, not secret, but thing, is the power of they could withhold the information and they could kind of stop some of the information. But it's like the internet fucked a lot of the game plan up, because a lot of niggas caught up. You was not supposed to use it. Like, they turned the internet into a game. Oh, you just put dumb stuff up here. And kids gravitate to all that dumb shit. So like I tell you, you could go in there and you could learn some college shit and don't go to college. Like, nigga, I was a mechanic. You know what the mechanics at my job was doing? These niggas are going fucking YouTube and look up how to do certain jobs in the car from YouTube. I'm gonna look it up, because they were so, like, technology had changed. I told y'all, like, they didn't really know how to really diagnose, because they say the hardest thing about working on a car is actually diagnosing the car for having that particular problem. Once you see the next one like that, you got it on point, because you know the noise, the sound, you know all that. But that first car coming in with that noise or that sound, you trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong. That's the hard part. The hard part is not taking that shit off, putting something in. That's the easy part. Locating the problem, that's the hard part. Because you can fix some shit, some other shit go haywire, But a lot of people think, oh, my mechanic trying to get over on me, and I know from personal experience, nah, it's not like that. A lot of them motherfuckers are drifters. They're fucking they'll sell you a dream. You know what I'm saying? But majority of these niggas, these mechanics, they either can't diagnose the problem right because they never had the experience before, or they looking it up and they go on test book on it. And when you go on test book on it, you just looking up. First of all, you dealing with a computer. You got to deal with a computer. They hooking up all this shit, seeing if the frequencies matching, all this shit just to, oh, you needed this. All that shit you looking up just to say, oh, you need this. Because it's like I could still work on, like, the hardest thing, it wasn't really hard for me. It was simple, but like when I used to take transmissions is the best paying thing for a mechanic. It's the longest hours you would get. Learn it, and when you learn how to do that, take that shit out, put that shit back in, or take an engine out, put that shit back in from scratch. That shit is like riding a bike. Long as you got legs and you can fucking pedal, you will never forget how to do that shit. But a lot, and I was saying, like, come on, man, fucking up my video. Fuck. It's gonna be on E tomorrow because there's no gas in that motherfucker. We'll put a hoodie on. You out here with a t-shirt on? Is that? And you just cut my video off. I didn't touch it. You had to. Just cut off. Yeah, so right. I don't know why I started talking about my mechanic and all that shit. Why did I bring that up? I can't remember what I was talking about. I got distracted and shit. The fuck she turned the damn light on? But yeah, I was telling y'all like the test book shit. Like, these motherfuckers, I was just basically saying how these motherfuckers really don't be knowing what they doing. Like I told you, I got a cousin. This nigga could listen to a noise in your car and automatically know what the fuck wrong with your car. And this nigga never was a mechanic. Ever. He worked with mechanics, just watching them doing, and that's, they say there's no such thing as a bad mechanic. It's the teacher of the mechanic that's bad. And I agree. But this nigga hear noise and automatically know what the fuck it is. And these motherfuckers was mechanics that I've been around, and they said they've been working on cars for almost 20 years. And my cousin, he ain't really a mechanic. He don't do this shit on a daily basis. He could go get his shit and open up his own shop, but he don't do it because he bullshitting. But he older, so I feel him though. But he a monster. He a monster. This nigga hear some shit, automatically know what the fuck it is. I was like, how the fuck I work around all these mechanics getting paid $100,000, $100,000s a year, and don't really know how to work on cars. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is. Like, I mean, they might have the complexion for the protection or whatever. The complexion for the protection or whatever. But these niggas ain't know what the fuck they was doing. Look, man, it's saying my shit is, I gotta delete some shit. My memory going low. I got too many videos on, because I told y'all I had videos, I didn't put them up. Should have did this video hours ago when I had the time, and I mean when I had the actual less distractions. But y'all think about that for a little bit though, because everything they told us, I think everything is fucking horse shit right now. Up is down, down is up, left is right, right is left. Like, you know, like, it's all fucking, you don't know nothing until you know something. Like, you go there and experience it yourself or whatever. Like, you hear motherfuckers just lie on a regular basis. You ever meet that motherfucker that just lie? And you know he lying, and he know he's lying to you, but he expect you, he really expect you to think he's telling the truth, but you know this nigga lying. That's what it is. Like, nigga, that just hit my spirit wrong. That shit don't sound right. And they know they lying to you, and they know you know they lying, and they still lie. Giving you false information, and then you look the shit, and then they send you, like, that's the crazy thing. Like, when all this crazy shit was going on, they say one thing, but then they send you fucking articles and shit on your phone saying another thing. Be like, hold up, I thought it meant this. I thought it, and then you tell other people, and then they be like, oh well, that's not what they said. Like, why you listen to what they said? Look at what they wrote. They said this, but they wrote this. And the people who wrote this is the certified motherfuckers. The other motherfuckers that you listening to, they ain't certified. And they telling you a whole nother ball game. Just going along, making shit up. And they finding new evidence every day, especially around on this continent. Damn, I started this motherfucking video, said I was gonna talk about cartoons. I ain't talking about the cartoons the whole time. I was talking about other shit. Hold up. I'm gonna just probably end this motherfucker and go in on another one. Because they say the 90s cartoons was the golden age. Kinda, I think so. And listen to the top, let me see the full list. They got 44 shows. DuckTales was number 1, and I don't know. It was good, but it wasn't that good to be number 1. But they said something about kids in the Indian kids enjoyed it in the early 2000s. So maybe it was because around the world that's what they watched. And I believe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles could be number 2. I told y'all the myth about the the man turtles. Samurai Jack, I never watched that. 4, Batman. Powerpuff Girls 5. And then listen to what they say about Powerpuff Girls. This was probably the first and one of the only TV shows of the time that started teaching us about feminism. Listen to that shit. They admitting that this shit taught about feminism. I mean, Is that a good thing? Some women might say it is. The ones that until that homegirl get a man, and then they get jealous of that homegirl having a man and try to mess with the homegirl man. You know what I'm saying? They get jealous and then they be negative straight up. Johnny Bravo was 6. Johnny Bravo used to always try and holler at bras and shit. It was kind of funny in a way, because he was the blonde head buff nigga with all the muscles, but every time he tried to get a woman to date him, he often failed, and miserably. You know what I'm saying? That's what they said. I don't think he ever took them damn glasses off. SWAT Cats. I kind of remember that, but I don't. Recess 8, Rugrats 9, Dexter's Laboratory. I think I used to watch that a little bit. They got Animaniacs on the top 20. Animaniacs was the shit. I can't remember their names though. Hold up, let me see their names. They was supposed to be brother and sister. All 3 of them. I ain't got their names up here. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Kinda watched that. X-Men at 13. Tailspin. Hey Arnold. Jungle Book. The Centurions. Captain Planet. Scooby-Doo. 19. They got Looney Tunes at 20. Damn, they ain't even make the top. Tom and Jerry. Yeah, and Tom and Jerry, they did like that. Tom and Jerry should remind you of them old movies when they used to have no sound, or no yeah, they used to just put words on the screen, had no sound, be running around, get fucked up and shit. He chasing this damn mouse every day. Sometimes they show him off as friends, and then something happen, and these niggas be fighting. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Flintstones. And look, they said that, and the way they spell Flintstones, I told y'all on my Mandela Effect video, like they spelled the Flintstones with the 2 T's. I don't remember that though. Because we pronounce it the Flintstones, but they say it's the Flint Stones. We used to say Flintstones. I could be wrong about that, but I doubt it. But I don't know. The Jetsons. Jetsons was like, I looked at it like this, because I think they did a collaboration movie with the Flintstones and the Jetsons. Like listen to it, say, while the Flintstones is set in the Stone Age with the modern urban problem, the Jetsons is set in a comical version of the future with robots, aliens, and some amazing inventions. But most of those inventions and shit they showed was shit that they about to get to us now. You know what I'm saying? And I remember an episode, I think they met each other. Like, I don't know if it was time travel or just think like this. The Jetsons was, remember, all their houses was up in the sky. But when you hit that ground, that's where Flintstones was at. Because they never showed you the ground for real. I gotta go back and watch that shit. Popeye, I remember Popeye. Chase. What is she crying for? Batman Beyond, I never really liked that shit. Johnny Quest. I remember Johnny Quest. He was a little Hindu boy. The Addams Family. I remember the Addams Family. The Mask.
Daddy, can you